Did The Rock conspire to get the WrestleMania documentary pulled and then put back in? We're going to talk about all of this and what the entire wrestling community is talking about here. That being this WrestleMania documentary, which I thought was fantastic. But man, oh man, is The Rock getting dragged? There we go. It's Mr. Meme himself, The Rock, the genius behind everything great in professional wrestling. Well, guys, the backstory is that this WrestleMania doc was supposed to air back, I believe, in late April, got pulled. Then there were rumors, rumblings that it was going to be released again, and then just it stopped. We didn't hear anything, nothing progressed until just about a week ago when they were doing this big push. WrestleMania documentary coming out Wednesday night. Tune in. Don't watch Dynamite. And then it came out, and we saw kind of the story that they told, and it was very noticeable to many people that the story that they told was pretty favorable for The Rock. Essentially, the way that The Rock and Triple H tell it is that The Rock was the one who decided to make the shift from The Rock and Roman being the main event of WrestleMania to Cody and Roman once again being the main event of WrestleMania. So obviously the internet is talking. There's rumors, conspiracies of did The Rock try to manipulate this documentary over the past few months to try to make it seem like he was the hero? Guys, I want to hear from you. What do you guys think? Kenneth Bomington, you go first.
I think the wrestling community, the wrestling fans, the IWC, I think they're a bunch of unappreciative marks. We got the biggest star we have ever seen in wrestling, especially in our generation when we're alive, because y'all can say whatever about the other guy, but The Rock, one of the biggest guys ever, and he comes back and saves WrestleMania 40, comes back and does this documentary letting us know what happened behind the scenes, and these guys just crap on him and turn him into a meme. How disgusting. If The Rock wasn't in at WrestleMania this year, it would have been like 50 times less, more as exciting as it was. This was all bad. Think about the shows leading up to WrestleMania. Packed out houses. Those houses are not packed out if The Rock's not there. That segment with Cody Rhodes and The Rock backstage where The Rock beat the brakes off of him, one of the best segments in Raw history. Go smoke some more crack. The final boss. The Rock gave us gold this year at WrestleMania. Amazing stuff. And these people just want to just push him under the rug. Like, oh, look at this guy. He thinks he's this and he thinks he's that. He is this and he is that. And if he told him to pull the documentary, then I'm glad he told him to pull the documentary, because this man deserves all of his flowers while he's here, because we will never, no matter how much y'all love Cody Rhodes, no matter how much y'all love John Cena, no matter how much you love AJ Styles, no matter how much you love anybody, we will never get another wrestler as good as The Rock. In ring, he's fine. He's good. He gets the job done. But on the mic, personality, aura, charisma, the it factor, whatever you want to call it, is that? Whoa.
Go ahead, man.
Whatever it is, The Rock has it, period. So I don't care what he does at this point. He deserves it. He earned it. Pay your dues, young men, and get in line. Kiddo.
All right.
Tell these guys what you think about it.
I mean, The Rock has one of the biggest egos in wrestling, but he deserves every single bit of it. He's like insane. He went out there during the build-up, cut 20, 30-minute promos where it's just him. He doesn't have anything else backing him up. And you watched every single second of it, and every single second of it was pretty much entertaining. Like, nobody else can do that. Triple H himself says many times that this is the biggest match. Like, yeah, I see what Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns can do, but then you have The Rock and Roman. Like, he allowed it to happen too. Like, he was going to let it go. He was going to let it happen. But then, because of our reaction and because The Rock said, instead of powering through this, let's change it up. Like, we cannot take that away from him. I don't think we can take away like his decision to put aside his ego and do what's best for business, what's best for himself, what's best for Cody, and what's best for everybody, I think. So this whole documentary was interesting anyway. So yeah, I don't think The Rock deserves the blame. In fact, I think it's pretty cool what he did, but I am afraid of the future, because now he has total control. No, not total control, but a lot of control. And right now, sure, this was a little dangerous situation, right? and we got the good ending. I feel like something like this is gonna be bound to happen again, something similar. And then will The Rock overstep and use his authority to do something that we will not like at all? I don't know. That scares me. I'll be honest with you, but yeah, that's
I
me.
can
Omar.
understand that.
Yo.
But before we throw it back to Big Om, I got to point this out because you just made a great point. The Rock had the power to power through this. He did not have to give that match back to Cody Rhodes, but he made the decision and said, you know what? All right, I see the reaction, and we're going to go ahead and adjust things, and, we'll go down this different path.
After
Big Om,
Cody went into business for himself, Roman, I choose you. Let everybody see.
We'll talk about that, kiddo.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting worked up, brother.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. But all right, two things can be true at the same time, right? The Rock is one of, if not the most entertaining superstar of all time.
The most.
There's no disagreement, I think,
That's
across
one.
the board there. I think that can be true, and then it can also be true that at the end of the day, The Rock helped influence a last-minute decision to change the main event of Mania, which not only put Cody in a horrible situation, put the fans in a horrible situation, but also put Triple H in a horrible situation. Because what did Triple H say? He's like, Cody asked him, well, what do you got for me if that's the main event? And Triple H's like, well, that's my job to figure out. I'm the game, Cody. Right? So at the end of the day, we went through this exercise, right, of, okay, it's not Cody, it's actually The Rock for nothing. And while you can say that Cody went into business for himself or whatever, had he not done that, we would not have gotten arguably one of the best builds to WrestleMania of all time. Like, that is just the truth. And like, there again, we'll get into that conversation, but I do want to focus in on The Rock for a second, because people are asking, like, is this like smell of like, him trying to like manipulate the story a little bit? Look, it is a WWE branded corporate documentary. It is going to be manipulative. It is going to be, there you go. It is going to be, there are going to be narratives that they want to get across. And especially with The Rock, given his, as Karo just showed, given his last,
venture
stuff in Hollywood.
I liked it.
He has a bit of a reputation that he needs to fix. So making himself the hero of this story would be something and be a part of that. And I think, look, it was mutually beneficial for WWE because they got to save face by saying, hey, look, we were not stupid, in this decision. We were not idiots, because in the past when they've done similar things, when the Bryan Danielson documentary came out, one of the biggest things people were talking about outside of like, oh my God, Bryan, that was so cool. Like, this is back in 2014, was WWE is the stupidest company in the world, because they all knew that they had the main event of Mania right there, the guy, Bryan Danielson, right there. And what they do, well, he's going to wrestle Sheamus. And like, they admitted that in the documentary. And I think they've learned their lessons. In true PR fashion, they have gone into business for themselves, much like Kenny accused Cody of doing. But Kenny, I want you to break down.
How could you, Kenny?
What was your problem with Cody's actions?
Well, I'll tell you in the next video.
Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell.